Former Baltimore Ravens inside linebacker Patrick Queen signed a 3-year deal up to $41 million with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bobby Wagner signed a 1-year deal with the Commanders. Jordan Brooks signed a 3-year deal with the Dolphins. All that and more will be on Pause Play Podcast. This episode starts now. It's time for Pause Play Podcast.
Their feet right now. Curry launches a three-pointer, puts it in. Steph Curry from downtown. Curry with Tucker right with him. Curry launches a three, puts it in again.
That one's driven to center field and deep. Yastrzemski back, still back, on the track, at the wall. See ya!
Powering drive down the line towards the pole of its third. It's gone. Patrick Mahomes. Good time down the middle of the field for Martin. Now there's Scantling who caught it. With Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. 2nd and 10. Mahomes thinking about getting out of there. Superman cape is on. And Mahomes is taken off. First down.
Pause Play Podcast here, where the heartbeat of sports comes alive. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys to my subscribers and the future subscribers that's going to continue to grow as time progresses. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking my videos, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Now, do not forget that on April 25th, we will be going live here. We will be going live to react to the first round of the NFL draft. I'm going to have about 6 or 7-ish guests to come on here to give their reactions as well, and we're gonna be having some fun. We're gonna be having some fun on the podcast, on the live stream. So make sure that you guys are available. Make sure that you guys are here for that. Today we're gonna be working into the free agency market. We're gonna be working into why the linebacker market was such in the middle. It was some good. It was some bad. It was some comfortable spots for them. But we're going to be working into why those linebackers chose to go those ways and whether I think it's a good fit or not. The first one I want to speak on is linebacker Patrick Queen. Yes, former linebacker from the Ravens, Patrick Queen, signed a 3-year deal up to $41 million with the Steelers. I think that's a good fit. In my opinion, I think that's a great fit. I think that that's going to elevate the level and style of play that the Steelers have always had. The Steelers have always had a great defense. It's just that their offense has been really struggling. And I think that the defense this year is going to take another level yet again. They have brought in a lot of good pieces on the defensive end. Cornerback Diontae Johnson from the Panthers. They also brought in as a part of the Diontae Johnson trade. So I think they're going to elevate their style of play to another level. And I think that's a very good fit for Patrick Queen. Even though that's their division rivals, I think that that's going to really elevate their style of play. Next, we're going to move on to the Commanders. The Commanders have had a very good splash in free agency, signing Austin Eckler, signing Bobby Wagner. They have been putting in veteran pieces that's going to uplift and lead their team to victory. Bobby Wagner signed a 1-year deal with them, and I think that is one of the greatest fits in free agency. It gives them a leader. It gives them somebody who is going to strip the defense and destroy offense and terrorize the offensive line. I think that it's going to give them a good leadership type role for him, and I really think that it's going to elevate their style of play as well. It's going to take them to another level. So look out for the Commanders. Because I think they're really gonna make a run or try to make a run once they get Jaden Daniels. That's my prediction. Jaden Daniels to the Commanders, number 2. Now it's time for the Pulse Play of the Week, guys. And there's really no debate. To this guy. This guy really blew my mind. He blew the whole world's mind when he did this play. And I really think that this play is in the books for one of the best plays in the NBA history, or one of the best dunks in NBA history. Check it out.
And only had one shot attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back and threw it down and one from the rafters.
The Antetter's hurt his hand on that too. That was ridiculous.
Another linebacker that recently hit the market, former Green Bay Packers linebacker Devondre Campbell. He was released by the Green Bay Packers as a post-June 1 cut, which means he can get cut now, sign with another team, but the money or the cap savings won't hit with the Green Bay Packers until June 1st. With this, meant that he was going to go elsewhere, meant that he could test the free agency market, and in turn, he signs a 1-year deal with the 49ers. Now, this deal is a very intriguing one, given the fact that they had some inside linebacker work to do as the season progressed, but they were satisfied with their inside linebackers, given the fact that all the rest of the defenders were playing their part and were actually doing what they needed to do to get to the Super Bowl last year. So now that they brought in a veteran and now they brought in a weapon like Devondre Campbell, this will definitely elevate the style of play. Now, be cautious because Campbell has had some injuries in the past, which is why Green Bay really cut him, because he had some injuries in the past, and he had injuries last season. And as Green Bay went on to their run in the playoffs, they realized they didn't really need him because we had young cats and we had young guys in the linebacker position that was actually progressing, and our defense was actually playing very well as the playoffs progressed. So he got cut as a post-June 1st cut, and now he's a great fit with the 49ers. He's going to elevate that room. He's going to be he's definitely going to be a prominent starter for them right now and in the future if he gets that future deal after this year. Now, let's take a second and dive deep into the Commanders. The Washington Commanders, yes, have been making moves. They have made a bunch of moves that people didn't even expect and didn't see coming, that people are now saying, oh my gosh, that's a really good fit. Let's start with running back Austin Eckler. Yes, they now have a two-headed monster, two-headed tandem in the running back room with Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler. I really like both of their fits because both of them aren't the same player. They both bring something unique to them, which is gonna really bring that running back group together and excel in games and late game situations when they had to run the football. They also brought in tight end Zach Ertz. Now, Zach Ertz is not as nearly the player as he is, but he still has a little bit left in the tank. Zach Ertz was at one time one of the top tight ends in the league. And I still believe that he has that juice to get there, but he needs that quarterback and he needs that fit for him to elevate the way that he wants to. Next, we're going to talk about Jeremy Chinn. Safety Jeremy Chinn. He signed a 1-year, $5.2 million deal with the Commanders. Not only does that elevate the safety room, but that elevates their whole secondary. Their secondary has been struggling for the past, 2-3 years. The secondary has been struggling. But now that they have him, now that they have Chinn, they can also go into the draft and get another guy. Perhaps Cooper DeJean. Perhaps the safety out of Miami. I forgot his name. But that also elevates his level of play and all of the secondary as a whole. Now let's talk about free agency winners and losers, because there have been a lot of People talking about, did the Bears win the whole free agency? Oh, did the Chiefs win the free agency? I'll give you my top 5 right now. Okay? Starting at number 1. Gotta say it. I hate to say it. But the Bears had the best free agency. Why? When you look at the Bears and you look at their free agency as a whole, they really elevated on nearly all of their positions of needs. They needed another wide receiver. They needed some more help at the running back position. They needed some defense, and they needed some O-line. But they still need O-line, but they can go O-line in the draft, and they can fill the rest of their positions of need in the draft. But when you trade for somebody like Keenan Allen, I get that he's 30. I get that he's had some injuries in the past. But when you trade for a guy like Keenan Allen, that electrifies your offense. It does. That tandem that he's going to have with him and DJ Moore is going to be something serious. And the NFC North has a lot to fight about. But you know they're not going to beat Green Bay. Stop it. Number 2, in my opinion, the Baltimore Ravens. Let me tell you, although the Baltimore Ravens have lost a lot in free agency, they've gained some huge pieces. Let's start with Derrick Henry. Their running back position last year blew up in smoke once Keaton Mitchell got injured. Yes, they still had Gus Edwards. They did. They still had Gus Edwards. But as we can see in the playoffs, they didn't use him nearly as enough as they should. So they bring in a big back. They bring in a big running back, a strong, dominant running back who's gonna run the ball up your throat, and it's gonna be hard to stop. I'm telling you, it's gonna be hard to stop. But in my eyes, Derrick Henry not only 30, but he did have some injuries in the past. So keep an eye out for that. But for the position, Derrick Henry, he really elevates their style of play. Now, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. People are looking at them like, they didn't really do anything. You're right. They didn't really do anything, but not only did they not do anything, they kept their core guys like Chris Jones, like Jude Tranquil. Those two were the key guys on defense that they desperately needed to bring back so that they can continue to go on this run. And then not only do they do that, they replaced MVS with Marquise Brown, which is a huge upgrade in the wide receiver room. So that, with all of that being said, that's what makes them winners in my eyes in free agency. Another winner, you're not going to like what I want to say, but the Commanders are definitely a winner in my book. They brought in a lot of veteran guys that's going to lead them and elevate their style of play in their division, and they can possibly make a run. We got to see what they do in the draft, but they can possibly make a run. So keep an eye out for that. And then finally, I got to be biased here. I got to put my people in there, the Green Bay Packers. People saying, "Oh, you guys are losers. You guys lost free agency." People got to think, if they went back to the playoffs, Green Bay really progressed with all their young guys and didn't even have the guys that they released. Yes, they had Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones, although people keep on saying, "Yeah, you guys did good in the running back room, you guys improved," I don't like that at all. I really think that Aaron Jones is gonna move, is gonna elevate the Vikings to another level, and not only elevate them, he's gonna really bring that leadership role that the Vikings desperately need. But going back to Green Bay, a lot of the guys that we released, Bakhtiari, Campbell, those two guys didn't play for us for the majority of the season because they were hurt. And yet Green Bay still went to the playoffs. And not only went to the playoffs, they beat the number 2 team and kept it close with the number 1 seed when everybody was saying we're not going to even make the playoffs. So that's what makes me, and not only that, Xavier McKinney, people don't even understand how big of a signing that is. That is a massive, massive, massive signing for Green Bay. Let me tell you why. Yes, Darnell Savage, he was cool. I really believe Darnell Savage was a good safety. But when you bring in a guy that's played every single snap, and not only that, had a bunch of interceptions, pressured the guys, got a lot of stops for the receivers, made sure that they were covered, that's hard to do. And like my general manager said, Brian Gutekunst, his best football is ahead of him. His best football, I really believe that. Jeff Hafley is really going to elevate his game to another level because all he is going to do is he's just going to play his game. He's literally just going to play his game. So not only did we lose veterans, and I know that it sucks that Bakhtiari is not there, and I know that it sucks that Jones is not there, and I know that it sucks that Campbell's not there, but people got to look. We got Josh Jacobs, which is a huge upgrade in my eyes now. We got Xavier McKinney, and we still have 11 draft picks and more money to go into the later rounds of free agency and to go into the draft to improve our team and improve our morale as a whole. So those are my 5. You guys comment down below and let me know what your 5 is, and we can talk about that. We can have a little debate, but those are my 5 winners of free agency there. Another inside linebacker. This one's intriguing, y'all. Former Bucs linebacker Devin White. Now, me as a Green Bay Packers fan, I really wanted Devin White because I think that he still has a lot left in the tank. Don't get that twisted. He still has a lot left in the tank. And because of recent history and, a little bit of injuries here and there, Bucs didn't decide to bring him back. So he tested the free agency market. And as the free agency market progressed, he wasn't really getting the kind of deals that he was looking for. And 10, he signs with the Philadelphia Eagles for 1 year, which is a great kind of tested year to test out the market, and he'll hit the market next, or they'll give him an extension. I think that's a great fit for the Eagles. The Eagles have had a great free agency. They're bringing in guys that can help them get back to the Super Bowl and try to win one this time. So I think that that's a phenomenal fit in their defense. And I think that not only is Devin White going to elevate their style of play, but he's actually going to bring their defense to another level as it already was last year and the year before that. So Devin White, you have my approval. All right, guys, so we got some breaking news. Breaking news for y'all. Breaking news. Early this morning, the NFL and all the GMs and all the head coaches met up, and they decided to approve a new kickoff rule, guys. A new kickoff rule. So here's the structure of it, okay? So there's gonna be a kicker on the normal kicking position. It's gonna be a kick returner in the end zone, okay? There's gonna be the line of special teams that the kicking special teams is going to be on the opposite 40-yard line, okay? Opposite 40-yard line, guys, okay? And then the return team is going to be on the same 35-yard line, okay? And it goes like this. If the kicker kicks it into the end zone, I believe it is a touchback, and it will be placed on the 35-yard line, okay? If it is returned, it's going to be spotted normally. Okay, it's going to be spotted normally. All right. So it's a new rule. It's a new kickoff rule. There's still some more details and logistics that still have to be worked out, still have to be planned out. But it's a new kickoff rule. In my opinion, I don't really like the rule because I'd rather just see normal football be played at its finest. I'd rather just see normal kickoffs and normal kickoff returns because this, in my opinion, makes it easier for the kick returners to score touchdowns. And in my opinion, that's just not what football is all about. So I really don't like the rule. You guys comment down below and let me know what you think about the rule. But yeah, that's that. Here's an example of how it's going to be played.
Is back to kick it away. Keenan Reynolds for Seattle. That kick better go beyond the 20, and it does. To the 15, here's Reynolds. Up the middle of the field, out to the 31-yard line. Antoine Williams.
All right, guys, this is the end of episode 2 of the Pulse Play podcast. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Comment on anything that you guys want to see in the future. Do not forget that on April 25th, we will be going live for the NFL draft, so I can give you guys my reactions of every selection. I'm going to have about 5 to 6 guys come on here, give their reactions. So make sure that you guys are in tune for that. Next week on the Pulse Play podcast, we will be having a special guest. I'm not going to tell you who that is yet. You're just going to have to find out, okay? You guys be safe, and also stay dangerous. Peace.